Hello everyone, my name is Where We Don't Care What My Name Is, and we are now in October, and you know what that means, right? We're going to get a lot of good horror movies coming out. On television though, not in theaters, let's be honest. There's not a lot of good horror movies coming out in theaters, except for Halloween. I'm hearing good things about it, very good things about it. But for this month, I decided I'm going to be focusing on horror movies that are based off of books. And that means that for this top 5 that I'm doing with Stephen King, I'm focusing on films that were put in theaters, not miniseries. I believe it. I would love to focus a lot on his miniseries as well, but there's a lot of them as well, and I'm going only for the ones that I feel are the very best and are very good. So, and again, this is just my opinion. I don't know about anybody else has a different opinion. So let's get started with number 5, and that's Carrie. Alright, so the focus of the film focuses on our main character, Carrie, who develops these psychic powers after being bullied by these mean girls, and she tries to learn how to control them, while at the same time dealing with high school and dealing with being an outcast and dealing with her overbearing control freak of a religious freak mother. Kind of like the Republican Party. Aha, that sucked. I know. I'm sorry. But anyways, so she gets invited to prom. Everything seems to be going well until the mean girls play a prank on her, dumping blood on her, and everyone's making fun of her. She loses it and ends up killing everyone with her psychic powers. And I gotta be honest with you, I actually like that. I like the story of this film because you feel bad for Carrie because, you know, I'm sure a lot of you know what she's going through because you are in high school. It wasn't easy. Junior high wasn't easy, but high school was the worst because you're trying to survive it. You're trying to, you know, dealing with these people who try to bully you, try to be mean to you, say horrible things about you. So I understand what Carrie's going through, and I feel bad for her. I really do, and I just want to give her a hug and like say, it's okay, Carrie. You're not a freak. They're the freaks, and I do like the fact that this film, has Carrie, using her powers to end up getting back at those people for what they did to her. The only thing the only problem I did have with this film is, first of all, it does take a while for Carrie to even use her psychic powers, more properly until when she's about to go to the prom and she locks up her mother with them. The second problem I have with the story is the fact that, I don't know, I don't like the mean girl situation, especially when it's pushed to this kind of length, but it was an old film around this time, so I guess it was fine. Other than that, it's a good film, but I keep it very low on the list because although it is good, it's not as good as the other films films after this. So let's get started with number 4 then. Let's move on to The Dead Zone, which has our Christopher Walken. I love you so much. I wish I can try mimicking your voice, especially when you play King Louie in the Jungle Book. Oh my god, that was awesome. But anyways, his character in this film is able to see into the future, able to see how someone's going to die, and he tries everything he can to save those people. And I gotta say, I like this film a lot because imagine giving that kind of power, like you're able to see how your loved one's gonna die, or a friend's gonna die, or just anyone's about to die, and you do everything you can to stop them from dying and save their life until you see, oh shit, how they're about to die next time is even worse. I gotta save them from that. Oh shit, it's gonna get worse, it's gonna get worse. Like, imagine being put in that situation, or imagine, in the case of Christopher Walken, he finds out that there's a candidate that he meets who's running for president. He touches him, finds out he's going to do something very terrible that's going to end up wiping out all life, and he's conflicted. Should I kill this man and save millions of lives, or should I not kill him and hope the future will change? And imagine being put in that situation where before Hitler came to rise to power, you see into the future what he's about to do, and you're given a choice. Either you kill him and save millions of lives, or you don't kill him and hope that the future won't turn out the way you saw it. So I like that. I think it's actually very good, and you see the conflict that our main character suffers through because of that. But even though it's a good film, I actually do like it. it's not as good as the other ones because technically it's not really a horror, but I do kind of see it as a horror because imagine being put in that situation. You have those kind of powers. That's just scary enough as it is. But I don't think it's that. Don't think it's the best of the best in terms of horror. So that's why I keep it low on the list. So let's go on to number 3, and that's Cujo. You know, when I saw Beethoven, I wanted to have a Saint Bernard. I wanted to have a big fluffy dog and have him as my pet. Until I saw Cujo, I'm like, nope, never mind. Those dogs are freaking scary. I know they're not, but it's still pretty cool how they made a Saint Bernard, you know, just a scary as hell monster when it comes rabbit. Like, that is awesome. So the focus on this film focuses on our 2 main characters, a mother and son who are trapped inside a car, and they're being, because their car broke down, they're in the middle of a farm, and they can't get out of the car because there's a rabid dog outside, and this rabid dog has killed already people. So our main character, the mother, has to try to find a way to get out of the car, get to the house, call for help. Otherwise, her son will die from thirst, and she might end up being killed by the Saint Bernard. So I actually like this film because imagine being put in that situation where you as a parent, you have to make a choice. And that choice, either you go out in that car and risk your life to save your child, or do nothing, your child dies, and you die anyway. So imagine being put in that situation. And it's just as scary as it is, because you probably, if you're not a parent, you probably can't understand that. But as someone, I'm not a parent though, by the way, I just want to make that clear. But I probably would have done the same thing. If I was a parent, I would have done the same thing. I would have tried running out of that car and get help, even if that means I have to fight a freaking rabid dog. So be it. But yeah, I actually like this film a lot because of how well it's able to do that, how it gives you suspense and everything. Now, it's in the middle of the list because although it's good, it does take a while to get there, and it does get a little dull when we're taking time to get there. But once we get to the other half, it is good. But it's right in the middle. It's not that good, it's not that bad, but it's a very good film. So let's move on to number 2, and that's Pet Sematary. So the focus of this film focuses on this family that moved to a new house that's close to a road where there is no speed limit, and these trucks come by and they go super fast and they kill a lot of animals that just happen to try crossing their road and are not fast enough to get out of the way. And one day the family loses their child, who ends up getting run over by a truck. And so the father is so distraught, he wants to find a way to bring back his son, and he finds out there's a pet cemetery that's built over an Indian burial ground. And so he is told that if you put any body there, then the body would come back to life, and he tries doing that with his son. He did it with the pet cat. The pet cat came back to life, but it's not the same. It doesn't come back the same as it used to be, and the cat turns out to be evil. But the father doesn't care. He uses the burial ground. His son does come back, but it becomes an evil monster that ends up killing people, including his mother, including an elderly man who tries to help the father. And so the father has no choice but to stop his child before it's too late. And I gotta say, I like this film a lot because, like, shit, imagine if you knew there was a way to bring back someone you lost, someone you love, and you take the risk to try to bring him back, even though they probably won't come back the same way as they were. You don't care. You do everything you can to bring back your child or your loved one, either way, and shit goes down because of it. So, and the other thing I liked about this film is how cringing it is, because there's a scene where the elderly man is looking for this the evil child, and the child has his father's scalpel because the father's a doctor, and he uses it to cut the back of the guy's ankles. I'm like, shit, I was like, oh no. And you feel it. You feel like, shit, that's just scary as hell. And I liked it. I like how I was able to do that. And it does have its flaws, don't get me wrong. There's certain stuff in the story that doesn't make any sense. That, like, there's a part with the mother who has a sister. And, yeah, that was just, like, came out of nowhere. And so I do like this film, but it does have some of its flaws. But it's not the best of the best. I saved this one for last, and I'm glad I did. And the best Stephen King film that I've seen, that is the very best of the other 4, is The Shining. We call it The Shining. I love that guy. Yeah, so our main character, Jack Nicholson, moves his family out to this hotel where he accepted a job to take care of it. As the caretaker, even after finding out that the last caretaker ended up killing his own family. But he doesn't care, he takes the job anyways, and it turns out the house is haunted. Ooh. So he starts to lose his sanity as they're stuck there because of a snowstorm. He tries to do his work, but he can't because of everything that's going on. There's his son starts seeing dead people, and one of them is trying to warn him to get him out before it's too late. And the mother is dealing with a lot of the craziness going on right now. Until the father finally does snap and tries to kill them. I love this film so much because Jack Nicholson in this film, like, he goes batshit crazy and it's awesome. He just has the perfect "I'm gonna kill you" crazy look. Like, he's just a great job at it. I didn't like the wife very much. I thought she was like, oh, so freaking annoying. The little kid, I actually liked him. That does have its flaws. Like, I really wish we got to know a little bit more about this haunted house and everything. But it's still good because it is suspenseful. It does well when it comes to mind games, and I liked it a lot. I like a horror movie that does play with your mind, makes you think very carefully. So I had no issue with this film. I thought it was good. Again, it does have its flaws, but it's not a bad film. So I will give them credit. They actually did a good job with this. So, and the other thing I liked about it is also, you know, just the ending as well, which is probably the best one, where Jack ends up dying in the maze and he's all frozen and everything. Like, shit, that is a scary way to die. Like, just dying, freezing to death all alone. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you have a different opinion of the top 5 films that I just mentioned from Stephen King, leave some comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe button. Check out my Facebook page. Check out my Twitter page. And I'll see you all next time to give you more love and more entertainment. So until then, take care. And I'll see you next time. Bye.